You just got your real estate license. You're excited, nervous. You've got dreams so big they barely fit in your chest. But then, reality hits. Nobody's calling. Your inbox is dry. And your bank account? Let's just say, it's not clapping for you yet. You feel like an imposter. You ask yourself, was this a mistake? If that's where you are right now, you're not broken. You're just beginning. And this is exactly where you're supposed to be. The first year will break you or build you. Let me take you back to day one. That awkward, humbling, high-stakes moment where you sit in your car, business cards in hand, and no idea where to start. That first year in real estate, it doesn't come with a map. It comes with chaos. It tests your patience, your discipline, your ego, your bank balance, and your belief in yourself. Nobody tells you this at licensing school. They tell you how to pass the test, but not how to survive the silence. Not how to handle rejection after rejection, or how it feels to walk into a room full of top agents and feel invisible. And that's why this video exists. Because if you're here, then you're probably somewhere between I've got this and what the hell did I sign up for? And I want you to know you're not alone. I've been where you are. And this journey you're on, it's not easy. But it's worth it. Because if you stick with it, you'll grow in ways that will scare you and inspire you at the same time. When I read Your First 365 Days in Real Estate by Shelley Zavitz, it felt like she had been watching my life with a camera. Every chapter was raw, real, no fluff. She didn't write it from an ivory tower. She wrote it from the trenches where deals fall through, confidence crashes, and wins are hard-earned. And that's why I'm bringing you this motivational summary. Not just to share her ideas, but to help you absorb them like oxygen. To speak to you the way I wish someone had spoken to me back when I was fresh, scared, and running out of savings. So here's what I promise you. I won't sugarcoat the journey, but I will give you hope. I won't tell you it's going to be easy, but I'll show you how it's absolutely possible. Each chapter of this series will focus on one truth, one shift, one lesson to help you survive and succeed in your first year as a real estate agent. Because here's what I know for sure. The first year is the hardest, but it's also where the strongest agents are born. What this video will give you: mental frameworks that actually work in the real world. Stories you'll feel in your chest, not just your head. Mistakes to avoid that nobody warned you about. Tools to build not just a career, but a life you're proud of. Whether you're working in downtown Toronto or small-town Alabama, whether you're at an agency in London or just signed your license in Sydney, these principles translate across all borders. Why? Because it's not about the location. It's about you, your mindset, your grit, your ability to get back up when the world tells you no over and over again. Here's a truth most people won't say out loud. Real estate has a 87% dropout rate in the first 18 months. 87. That means if there were 10 of you in a classroom, only 1 or 2 will still be standing by the end of year 1. But let me tell you something powerful. The difference between those who make it and those who quit is not talent. It's resilience. It's learning how to show up when no one's watching. How to handle a month of silence. How to turn fear into fuel. And that's what Shelley's book taught me. She said something that hit me hard. You are the product now. Not the listing. Not the house. You. Your presence. Your follow-up. Your mindset. Your energy. So this series, it's not just about real estate tips. It's about becoming the kind of person who can build something from nothing. If that's what you want, if you're tired of being confused, afraid, and broke, then you're in the right place. Because every chapter in this motivational breakdown is designed to light a fire in your chest. You're not here to blend in. You're here to become unforgettable. So take a breath. You don't have to figure out all 365 days right now. You just need to start with today. Let's begin. Chapter 1. You are the product now. Let's get one thing straight. You are not just a real estate agent. You are the product. Read that again. You are the product. Most new agents don't realize this. They walk into the industry thinking the house sells itself, that the market will somehow carry them. They think the fancy listing photos, the granite countertops, the location, that's what closes the deal. But let me ask you something. When was the last time someone said, "Wow, that agent's energy made me feel safe. I trusted them instantly"? Because that's what really sells in this business. Trust, connection, confidence, follow-up, presence. You are not selling bricks and bedrooms. You're selling belief. Belief that your client's dream is possible. Belief that the right home is out there. Belief that their money, their biggest financial decision, is safe with you. Shelley Zavitz said it best in her book. You are not just selling a house. You are selling what it feels like to work with you. That hit me like a truck. Because in my first few months, I thought I needed to sound perfect. Say the right real estate lingo. Dress sharp and pretend I had it all figured out. But people can smell fake confidence. They feel it. They don't care about your stats or your scripts. They care about how you make them feel. So here's where it begins. You have to start seeing yourself as the product. What does that mean? It means how you speak, how you follow up, how you walk into a room, how you respond to "I'm just looking," how you show up on social media, how you carry your energy even when you're exhausted. That's what clients are buying. Let's flip the mirror. Would you hire you? Would you trust you with your own life savings? Are you operating like a 5-0 commission is a gift? Or like it's your duty to bring value at every single step? Because when you operate like a pro, even if your new people notice. When you move with certainty, even if it's your first deal, people follow you. Let me tell you about Aisha. She was brand new, 0 transactions. Just passed her test in London, Ontario. But she didn't wait for experience to build confidence. She studied the local market daily, watched walkthrough videos from top producers, practiced conversations with her mirror every night. She even walked into open houses of other agents just to learn body language. Within 4 months, she closed 2 deals and got 3 listings through referrals. Why? Because people felt something when they met her. They felt safe, guided, respected. She understood. She was the product. Not her logo, not her brokerage, not her flyers. Her. That's the shift I want you to make today. Stop waiting until you know enough. Start becoming someone people can trust today. Quick mindset check. You are not a beggar asking for leads. You are a solution provider. You are not a rookie. You are a resource in training. You are not annoying for following up. You are serving people with big decisions. And that energy, it shows in your voice, your text messages, your eye contact. Shelley talks about this too, the energy you bring into every room. She says, you only get one first impression, but in real estate, you're always making one. Let that sink in. Every listing appointment, every DM, every handshake, every follow-up call you're scared to make, it all adds up. People don't just remember what you said. They remember how you made them feel. Reflection questions. If you couldn't talk about your listings, what about you would still make a client choose you? What's one habit you could adopt this week to improve how you present yourself? Are you hiding behind your inexperience or stepping into your potential? Practical actions this week. Practice your intro pitch, record it on video, watch your tone and body language, refine it. Follow 3 top producing agents on YouTube or Instagram. Study how they speak and show up. Invest 1 hour daily into improving you mindset, communication, personal brand. Because your skills will follow your identity. If you start seeing yourself as a professional, you'll start acting like one long before the commissions start rolling in. Analogy time. You are the restaurant. Think of it this way. Imagine you're a restaurant. The house is the meal. But you're the service, the ambiance, the warmth, the experience. If the food is great, but the service is cold, people don't come back. But if they feel seen, heard, appreciated, they'll recommend you before they even finish their meal. That's real estate. You are the atmosphere. You are the comfort. You are the reason people say, "Call my agent, they're amazing." So before we go to chapter 2, I want you to say this out loud. I am the product. And now, start showing up like it.
Chapter 2. You're not ready. Do it anyway. Let me guess. You've got your license? But every time you think about calling a lead, walking into a networking event, or shooting your first video, you freeze. Your chest tightens. And that little voice shows up in your head, whispering, "You're not ready yet. You need to know more first." What if they ask a question you can't answer? Sound familiar? I've got some news for you. You'll never feel ready. And that's not a flaw. It's normal. Shelley Zavitz said it plain and clear. Action creates confidence, not the other way around. You don't wait to become confident to act. You act to become confident. That's the game. That's the shift. In your first year, you're going to feel like you're always behind. Behind the market, behind other agents, behind what you think you should know. But let me tell you something powerful. You can still win while being unsure. You can still succeed while being scared. You can still grow even while feeling like you're faking it. The secret? Do it anyway. Let me tell you about Brian. He got his license in Perth, Australia. Brand new. No sales background, no connections, no experience. On his first day, he got assigned a floor duty shift at the office. He was terrified, didn't even know how to use the CRM. But instead of hiding, he showed up early. He asked a senior agent to walk him through call scripts. He watched YouTube videos on open house walkthroughs. And when a couple walked into the office looking for a rental, he didn't say, "Let me get someone more experienced." He said, "I'd love to help you find your next home. Let's start with what you're looking for." Was he perfect? No. Was he ready? Not really. But did he build instant trust by showing up with honesty, curiosity, and energy? Absolutely. That couple? They didn't just rent. They became buyers 8 months later. And they used Brian because he made them feel heard. Not polished, not slick, human. That's the key. You think clients are looking for the most experienced agent? Not always. They're looking for someone they feel safe with. And if that someone is you even in your rookie year, they'll roll with you. But only if you show up. Shelley's golden rule. Shelley Zavitz says in her book, real estate is a practice, not a perfection. You're not expected to know everything. You're expected to learn everything. There's a difference. Doctors practice medicine. Lawyers practice law. You practice real estate. So give yourself permission to be messy, to make mistakes, to say, "I don't know, but I'll find out." That's not weakness. That's integrity. And clients respect that way more than a know-it-all pretending they've got it all figured out. Reframing the fear. Let's break it down. What you call fear is usually just lack of reps. Think about the first time you drove a car. You were hyper-aware, hands gripped on the wheel, scared to change lanes. Now, you change lanes while sipping coffee and switching playlists. What changed? Not your worth, your reps. Same thing here. The first time you cold call, you'll sweat. The first open house, you'll feel like a fraud. The first negotiation? You'll doubt yourself. But if you do it scared again and again, you'll start to notice something. You become the version of you that's not scared anymore. Reflection questions. What's one thing you've been avoiding in your business because you don't feel ready? What if the fear you feel is a sign that you're actually growing? Who would you be a year from now if you acted scared but didn't stop? Story. The ladder you build while climbing. Imagine this. You're standing at the edge of a cliff. You need to get to the other side, but there's no bridge. So you hesitate, waiting for the bridge to appear. But here's the truth. The bridge builds with every step you take, every conversation, every rejection, every no thanks, every awkward showing, every lesson learned the hard way. Each of those moments lays another plank under your feet. And one day, you look down and realize you've built your own bridge. You didn't wait for confidence. You earned it. Step by step. That's what real estate is. A ladder you build while climbing. Your challenge this week. Make a call you've been avoiding. Shoot a 1-minute intro video even if no one watches. DM someone in your area and ask to shadow a showing. Post something on social media that introduces who you are and why you care. Don't wait until you're fearless. Just be someone who takes action anyway. Final thoughts. Most new agents don't fail because they're unqualified. They fail because they believe the lie, that they're not ready. But let me tell you this. The best agents aren't fearless. They're the ones who learned how to walk with fear beside them and still made the call. Still knocked on the door. Still kept going. Say this with me right now. I'm not ready. And I'm doing it anyway. Because confidence? That comes later. But courage? That starts today. Chapter 3. Control what you can. Let go of the rest. This chapter right here? It saved my sanity in my first year as a real estate agent. Because there's this moment that happens usually around month 3 or 4, where your enthusiasm starts fading and the panic starts creeping in. You've handed out business cards, posted on social media, held a few open houses. Maybe you even got close to closing your first deal, but nothing's landing. And all of a sudden, you start hearing that voice again. What am I doing wrong? Why isn't this working? Maybe I'm just not cut out for this. Let me tell you something. If you've ever felt that, you're not alone. I remember sitting in my car outside a listing appointment that fell through. The seller ghosted me. I hadn't made $1 in 6 weeks. My rent was due in 5 days. And I was crying into a cup of cold coffee. I felt like a failure. And then I remembered a line Shelley wrote in her book. You can't control the results, but you can control your efforts. And it hit me. I was trying to control the market. Control people's décisions. Control when they called me back. Control whether a deal closed or not. But those things were never mine to control. What I could control? How many calls I made that day. How many follow-ups I sent. How much I practiced my scripts. How many homes I toured to learn the inventory. How often I reminded myself that progress isn't always visible. This chapter is about surrendering the outcome and dominating the process. Because the agents who survive the first year aren't the ones who get lucky. They're the ones who build daily habits that don't care about emotions. Let me tell you about Ellie. She was brand new, working out of Brooklyn. She didn't know a single person in the area. So what did she do? She made a rule. 3 contacts every day. 1 follow-up with a past client or lead. 1 social media post showing her face and value. That was her baseline. Even on days she didn't feel like it. Even when her last 3 appointments canceled, she stuck to it. Why? Because the results weren't hers to control, but her actions were. And 3 months later, boom! Her first buyer client, then a referral, then a listing, then a snowball. It didn't happen overnight. It happened through ownership. The control framework. 3 circles. I want you to picture this. Draw 3 circles on a piece of paper. Outer circle, no control. Market shifts. Interest rates, other agents, clé décision. Appraisals. Middle circle, some control. Your marketing. Your lead generation systems. Your time management. Inner circle, full control. Your mindset. Your daily habits. Your energy. Your preparation. Now here's the secret. The more you focus on the inner circle, the more power you reclaim. Because when you waste energy obsessing over the market, you forget to master your message. When you stress over slow leads, you forget to sharpen your follow-up game. When you compare yourself to other agents, you forget that they've probably been where you are now. Story, the bricklayer mentality. Let me hit you with a metaphor. Building your real estate business? It's like laying bricks. Every cold call, every conversation, every social media post, every open house is one brick. Most people give up because they look up and see no wall yet. But brick by brick, you are building something, even when it doesn't look like it, even when it's raining, even when people walk past and laugh. You're building a business that will outlast emotions. That's how this game works. Reflection questions. What's one thing you've been stressing over that's outside your control? What daily habit could you build that's 100% in your power? Are you managing your time or letting your time manage your stress? 5 habits that keep you grounded and paid. Track conversations, not just leads. Write down every meaningful real estate convo, even if it doesn't lead to business right away. This builds awareness and momentum. Weekly goal check-in. Set small, behavior-based goals. Talk to 10 new people. Visit 3 new neighborhoods. Upload 2 educational videos. Create a momentum board. Use a whiteboard or sticky notes. Every time you complete an action market, visual progress motivates the mind. Celebrate effort, not just closings. Did you get rejected but showed up anyway? Celebrate that. It builds your inner fire. End each day with this journal prompt. What did I control today? What do I need to release? Shelley calls this the real estate rhythm. You show up, you plant seeds, and you trust the harvest will come later. You don't force it, you flow with it. And over time, that rhythm turns into results. Let me be clear. Some days, your phone won't ring. Some weeks, your inbox will be empty. That's normal. What matters most is how you show up during those dry spells. Because dry seasons are where champions are made. They either break you or build you. And with the right habits, you won't just survive the silence. You'll thrive in it. Final thought. Say this out loud. I don't control the outcome, but I own my effort. And that's more than enough. Because if you keep showing up, one day that effort will echo back. In clients, in closings, in confidence. And you'll look back at these early days and smile, because you'll know you controlled what you could, and you let the rest go. Chapter 4. The Power of a Follow-Up Game. Let me tell you a hard truth. Most of the money you'll ever make in real estate, it's hiding in your follow-up. Not your first call, not your first DM, not even your first showing, but in the consistent, calm, confident follow-up that most new agents are too scared or too disorganized to do. Let me ask you this. How many times have you made a connection and then never followed up again? You had a great conversation at an open house. Someone replied to your story asking about buying. Or maybe you spoke to a referral who said, "We're just thinking about it for now." And then what? You never followed up. You told yourself, "I don't want to bug them." They probably forgot. If they're serious, they'll call me. But here's the thing. People don't remember who impressed them. They remember who followed up. Shelley Zavitz said, "Real estate is not about chasing. It's about staying in people's minds, in their inboxes, in their circles. That's the secret. You don't need more leads. You need better follow-up." I remember this woman named Leah. She wasn't the top agent in my city, didn't have the fanciest signs, wasn't on billboards, but she followed up like a pro. We met at a networking event. I told her I wasn't looking to buy, maybe someday. Most agents would have smiled, nodded, and walked away. But Leah? She added me to her list. Sent me one email a month, always helpful, never spammy. Tagged me in a post when a property popped up near my old neighborhood. Dropped a voice note 6 months later just to say, "Still here when you're ready." When I was finally ready to buy, guess who I called? Not because she sold me anything, but because she stayed visible. That's what a follow-up game is. It's not pestering, it's presence. It's saying, "I didn't forget about you, and I'm still here when you're ready." Why follow-up works? You have to remember something about human nature. People are busy, scattered, stressed, indecisive. Your leads aren't saying no most of the time. They're saying, "Not right now." And the agent who sticks around the longest wins. Let me give you some numbers. According to NAR and real-world experience, 80% of deals happen after the 5 contact, but 90% of agents stop following up after the 20th attempt. You see the gap? That's where your opportunity lives. Your follow-up system, simple Jian, human. Let's make this real. You don't need to become a robot. You just need a system you'll actually use. Here's my go-to. 1. The 3-day rule. After meeting a lead, follow up within 3 days. Send a message that adds value, not pressure. Example. "Hey, name! Great chatting the other day. I saw a listing in neighborhood that reminded me of what you said. Would love to send it if you're curious." 2. The 7-day touch. If no response, follow up after a week. Send something light, maybe an article, stat, or just a check-in. 3. The 30-day flow. If still quiet, add them to a light touch monthly list. Use tools like MailChimp, Follow-Up Boss, or even just a calendar reminder. Bonus. Add personality. Don't just send generic texts. Be you. Send a voice note. Drop a selfie video update. Comment on their Instagram post, not fake, just real connection. You're not a sales machine. You're a relationship builder. And that's what keeps you top of mind. Clients remember consistency. They remember that you sent that check-in email on their birthday. They remember that you asked how their dog was doing. They remember that you didn't pressure them, but didn't disappear either. It's not about being pushy. It's about being present. Reflection questions. How many warm leads have you let go cold just because you didn't follow up? Are you afraid of rejection or afraid of looking unprofessional? What would your follow-up system look like if you believed every no was really just not yet? Shelley's truth. The fortune is in the follow-up. Not because people love to be sold, but because they love to be remembered. You're not just building a contact list. You're building trust. And trust takes time. Your challenge this week. Make a list of every lead you've spoken to in the last 3 months. Reach out to 5 of them with no ask, just value, connection, or check-in. Create a follow-up spreadsheet or simple CRM system. Set reminders. Automate what you can, personalize what you must. Even if only one person replies, that's one more door than you had yesterday. And this business? It's built one door at a time. Final thought. You don't need to be the loudest. You need to be the most consistent. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to stay in the room long enough for people to remember you when they're ready. And they will be ready. Not today. Maybe not next week. But one day, they'll whisper to themselves, "You know who I should call?" And your name will come to mind. Because you followed up. Because you stayed present. Because you cared. Chapter 5. Don't chase deals, build a business. In your first year as a real estate agent, it's easy to fall into survival mode. You start chasing every lead, every conversation, every maybe client like a dog chasing cars. Because you think, if I don't land this deal, I won't make rent. If I don't close soon, I'm going to fail. And hey, I've been there. I've stared at my bank app, hoping a miracle would drop in. But let me tell you something powerful I learned from Shelley Zavitz. The moment you stop chasing deals and start building a business is the moment things start to change. Because deals come and go. But a business stays. A business compounds. It builds momentum. It creates freedom. And you're not just a salesperson. You're a business owner. Say that out loud. I am building a business. Let me tell you about Jerome. He started in real estate after getting laid off from his job in Melbourne. He was hungry, but too focused on the next check. He'd drop everything for any client. Drive across town for buyers who weren't pre-approved. Spend hours making flyers for people who ghosted him. 6 months and no closings, total burnout. Then, he changed his mindset. He stopped chasing, started designing. He picked a niche. He built a basic website, created a lead magnet for first-time homebuyers, started a weekly coffee closings YouTube series, and followed a schedule, not emotional chaos. 3 months later, he had 3 solid clients and a system that worked for him, not against him. That's the power of thinking like a business. Stop thinking like a hunter. Start thinking like a farmer. Hunters chase. Farmers plant. Hunters get lucky. Farmers get paid season after season. Your job is not to chase random prey. Your job is to plant seeds. Follow up. Show up. Add value. Then let time and systems do the rest. Systems, stress. Let me show you 5 simple business systems every agent should start with. They don't need to be fancy. They just need to be consistent. Lead capture system. Whether it's a Google form, CRM like Follow Up Boss, or a simple spreadsheet, every lead goes in the system. Name, number, email, where you met, notes, follow-up date. Not in your head. Not on sticky notes. In a system. 2. Weekly content engine. Pick a day. Create. Show up. Teach something on YouTube. Post a listing tip on Instagram. Write a quick neighborhood stat email blast. One piece of valuable content every week builds brand. 3. Referral outreach plan. Each week, reach out to 3 past clients, family, or friends. Not to beg. To check in, add value, stay top of mind. 4. Budget tracker. Know your income. Track your expenses. 10% to taxes. 10% to reinvest in your biz. Use free tools like Wave or even Google Sheets. You're not just a salesperson. You're the CFO of you, Inc. 5. Time block calendar. Create daily blocks. Lead gen. Admin. Appointments. Learning. Follow up. Stick to it like it's sacred. Because structure builds success. Building a brand, even if you're new. People don't hire agents because they know the MLS. They hire agents because they trust their brand. And your brand is built in the little things. How you show up. How you speak. How consistently you educate. How you treat people when there's no deal on the table. Start thinking of your brand like a promise. What do people feel when they interact with you? Confidence? Calm? Hustle? Humor? Wisdom? Pick your vibe. Then own it everywhere. On your social media. In your emails. In your in-person energy. You don't need a fancy logo to have a brand. You need consistency. From Shelley, your business is not your brokerage. It's you. Brokerages can support you, but they won't build your dream. That's your job. And the sooner you own that, the sooner you step into power. Reflection questions. Am I running around or building something? Do I have repeatable systems, or am I winging it every day? If someone visited my Instagram or YouTube today, would they feel like I run a business or just post when I'm desperate? Story. The compound effect. Every little system you build, it compounds. You won't feel the benefits in week 1, or maybe even month 1. But by month 6, your pipeline is cleaner. Your brain is calmer. Your energy is focused. Your leads feel taken care of. It starts to snowball. The first 100 days are hard, but around day 200, you start seeing the returns. Because you weren't hasting, you were building. Your weekly checklist. Did I create and post 1 piece of content this week? Did I follow up with my warmest leads? Did I reach out to my sphere of influence? Did I time block for learning or sharpening my skills? Did I review my systems and fix any cracks? Answering yes to just 3 of those consistently? That's momentum. That's business building. A final thought. There's no shame in being hungry. But if you keep chasing deals without building a foundation, you'll burn out. Fast. Start today. Even if it's just 1 spreadsheet, 1 checklist, 1 system. Lay the brick. Because 5 years from now, you don't want to still be chasing. You want to be reaping. You want referrals. Repeat business. Peace in your heart. And confidence in your brand. Final chapter. Your future self is already proud of you. Take a breath. You made it to the end of this journey, or maybe the beginning of yours. Because real estate, it doesn't just change your income. It changes your identity. You came into this thinking it was just about listings, just about buyers and closings and commissions. But now you know the truth. This journey is about becoming the kind of person who doesn't give up when it gets quiet. The kind of person who shows up when it's uncomfortable, follows up when it's awkward, learns when it's hard, and grows even when no one is watching. That's you. Let me ask you something. What if your future self could walk into the room right now? The version of you who's 3 years in, with a strong business, a healthy pipeline, referrals coming in, clients who trust you, closings that don't feel like miracles but normal. What would they say to you? They wouldn't criticize you. They wouldn't ask why it's taking so long. They'd smile. They'd say, "Thank you for not quitting." Because here's the thing. You're not going to feel like a winner every day. Some days, you'll wonder if you made a mistake. Some months, the phone will barely ring. You'll go to bed thinking, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. But I want you to remember this line from Shelley's book. Real estate doesn't give you anything. You have to go out there and take it. You don't sit and wait for success. You build it, brick by brick, call by call, step by step. And you already started. By watching this, by reflecting, by choosing growth over fear, by deciding to treat this like a real business, not a side hustle. That's rare. Most people never get this far. But you did. And now? Now it's time to walk into that version of yourself you've been dreaming about. Let's look back at the path you've walked. You learned that you are the product, not just the paperwork. You accepted that you're never fully ready, and that's okay. You let go of trying to control the outcome and focused on effort. You discovered that follow-up isn't salesy, it's service. You stopped chasing deals and started building a business. You didn't just get advice. You built a mindset. You built a foundation. And that's something no algorithm or market shift can take from you. Story: The Agent Who Stayed. There's a story I'll never forget. It was about a guy named Josh in Birmingham, UK. He got licensed the same time as 5 others in his class. By month 6, 3 had already quit. The other 2 were barely hanging on. Josh? He wasn't closing deals every week, but he kept going. He followed the systems, made his calls, documented his journey on social, sent out monthly updates even when no one replied. 1 year later, he closed 7 transactions. 3 of those came from people who said nothing for months, then messaged him out of the blue saying, "Hey, I've been watching your journey. Ready to talk." He didn't explode. He built. Quietly. Consistently. Now he's thriving. And he earned every bit of it. That's what I want for you. Not luck. Not hype. But that deep, steady, earned success. The kind you can pass on. The kind that compounds. The kind that gives you time, impact, and pride. Final reflection questions. What part of you is growing that you haven't celebrated yet? What would your future self thank you for 1 year from now? What's one habit you can commit to for the next 30 days, no matter how you feel? Your final 30-day challenge. Set one behavior goal, not a result goal. E.g., talk to 5 new people each week, not close 1 deal. Document your journey. Post a short video or update weekly on Instagram, YouTube, or a private journal. Review your systems. Refine 1 small thing per week. Practice gratitude, celebrate every effort, not just the wins. Because this game is long, and it rewards those who don't give up in the dark. Your future self is already proud of you, not because you got everything right, but because you kept going. Even when it was slow, even when you doubted yourself, even when the world felt silent, you showed up. You invested in your growth. You bet on yourself. And trust me, that bet is going to pay off. Final call to action. If this video spoke to you, if it helped you see this business with new eyes, do me a favor. Like this video. Subscribe for more motivational breakdowns like this. Share it with another new agent who needs encouragement. And check the description below, where I've linked to the book, Your First 365 Days in Real Estate by Shelley Zavitz. Because this isn't just a summary, it's a reminder that you are the one building something unforgettable. Keep going. I'm rooting for you. Always.